They finally announced the first Stranger Things spin-off show. They teased that they were going to be making some Stranger Things spin-off shows back before they released season 4, and now we have the first one that is actually coming out later this year. Yup, it's coming out before season 5, and it's gonna be a prequel. Can you believe it? They teased young Hopper and young Joyce and so much more. All the Jopper fans are going to be jumping for joy soon. This is going to give us a whole new look at Hawkins, Indiana. The only concerning thing is that this spin-off show is going to be a stage play, which right now is only set to play in London. Yeah, how's everyone not in London going to watch it, Netflix? It's not just filler, too. They teased some massive things in it we're going to talk about later, so make sure you watch until the end of the video. Welcome back to the channel, I'm Michael J, and this is the place to talk about everything Stranger Things. Right now, more specifically, the first official spin-off show. It's been a minute since I've done a Stranger Things video. I've taken a little bit of a hiatus since everything calmed down last year after season 4 came out, but I tell you what, it feels good to be doing another video. If you're enjoying the Stranger Things content and want more, like the video, subscribe, send it to a friend, support this video, and if you want, I'll make more. There's some books and comics I could cover. If you're excited for this new spin-off, go hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my next Stranger Things video. We've got so much to talk about today, so let's just start unpacking everything and see who's going to London this year. They announced the play will be taking place before the world turned upside down, before the events of the show even started. Hawkins, 1959, a regular town with regular worries. Young Jim Hopper's car won't start, Bob Newby's sister won't take his radio show seriously, and Joyce Maldonado just wants to graduate and get the heck out of town. Not only did they just announce that we're finally going to see young high school Jopper, but they also announced that Bob Newby is going to be in the show.
That's my name.
When new student Henry Creel arrives, his family finds that a fresh start isn't so easy, and the shadows of the past have a very long reach. I am so excited for this. We very much need all the gaps of young Henry Creel filled in. They left so many questions at the end of season 4, and I know it's like an Avengers Endgame where season 4 is Infinity War and season 5 will be Endgame, but still, like, come on. I don't know if they can even cover everything in season 5, so maybe they're going to use this to help fill in the gaps. Brought to life by a multi-award winning creative team who take theatrical storytelling and stagecraft to a whole new dimension. This gripping new adventure will take you right back to the beginning of the Stranger Things story and may hold the key to the end. What? This play might hold the key to the end? The end of the Stranger Things story? The end of season 5? What? This is also coincidentally coming out way before season 5. The only thing is, the only locations the play is listed to be shown at right now is in London, more specifically at the Phoenix Theatre, which is awesome, but as of now they have no plans to perform outside of London. This is going to be an exclusive London show. Start packing your bags. But if this is canon and pertinent to the universe of Stranger Things and the beginning of the Stranger Things story, how is everybody else going to see it? This seems as if it has enough importance that there's a good chance they'll eventually put it on Netflix. But if they don't tell us this until after the play finishes its shows, then more people will rush to see it before it's gone forever, or so they think. But what are they actually trying to say by the key to the end? Are they going to reveal the key they'll use to defeat Vecna in season 5 that'll put him away for good? Are they going to reveal the Horcruxes the kids will have to find and destroy to kill him? I mean, the grandfather clock is a start, but what about the rest? Who knows? I don't see why they wouldn't put this on Netflix eventually. That being said, I do really want to go to London and watch this live. I've never been, and this would be such a cool first time to go. I would have so much fun with this. I'm really excited. It's going to be interesting to see how they adapt the play to Netflix, if they ever do. I think one of the things I'm most excited for in this play, besides Henry's backstory, is high school Jopper. That's right, young Hopper and Joyce will be in this play while they're in high school. I can't imagine why though. They're not just throwing them in for fun, there's gotta be some kind of connection with them and Henry or the Upside Down. I have no idea yet, but I'm so happy they're including young Jopper. I also really hope they dive into what makes Henry so weird. I hope they continue to draw parallels between him and Will both being so different from everyone else. I'm totally expecting to see him get bullied in school. If this takes place in 1959, 24 years before season 1, Hop and Joyce will both be 17 years old going on 18, and it'll be 2 years before they started using Agent Orange in Vietnam that Hopper was eventually affected by. So before he joins the army and while they're still at the end of their school. Now, since Henry will be 12, 13 years old, it's not impossible that his path won't cross with Hopper and Joyce, and possibly Bob. I mean, he'll probably be in 8th grade maybe while everyone else is seniors, but Hawkins is small. Maybe all the grades are close enough, or Henry is ahead 1 grade. He's special, yeah, but maybe he's smarter too. I'm curious if this play will be similar to the way they structure the show, in the sense where they follow multiple different stories at the same time, and then they eventually come together and tie into each other at the end. Because it would be really interesting to see how young Hop, Joyce, and Bob Newby tie into young Henry Creel and spark the events of the show. If they didn't do this, I don't know how much sense it would make having everything so different. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but either way, this play is going to have Stranger Things fans running to London. Another big thing I was not expecting was the reveal of Joyce Byers' maiden name. Yup, they dropped Joyce Maldonado on us, which is of Spanish and Portuguese origin, which is super interesting. I did not see that one coming. The stage play is called The First Shadow, most likely referring to young Henry Creel coming to Hawkins for the first time, being the first thing to trigger everything going forward, his descent into darkness and his realization and development of his powers, which honestly we could really use. They left so much unexplained and up to our imaginations and theories in season 4, but along with that, I can't help but wonder if the first shadow also might refer to the first shadow monster Will encountered, the Mind Flayer. I feel like this would be kind of a harder element to portray on a stage, as it's a 100% CGI character. Also, the Mind Flayer technically doesn't take form until the Massacre of Hawkins takes place and Henry gets banished to the Upside Down in 1979, but maybe the Mind Flayer has more to it than that. What if it's some manifestation of his evil powers that first came about when he was younger? I don't know, it's just a theory. Either way, I am so excited we're getting this story to fill in the gaps. This is literally the beginning of the Stranger Things story. Now, honestly, one of the biggest questions I still have is, how on earth did Henry Creel get his powers? Did his mother give them to him like we suspected in the original video I made? Did Eleven's mom, Terry Ives, give Eleven her powers? She was involved with Brenner's MK Ultra project for so long before she gave birth to Eleven. We know that eventually Henry ends up with Brenner, but do you think somebody gave a public order for him to go see a specialist and it just happened to be Brenner? Or do you think his mother had been taking him to see Brenner before the murders? Because if you remember, when Vecna was monologuing to Nancy and Eleven, he mentioned that when he awoke after passing out during the murders, he found himself in the care of a doctor that he had hoped to escape. As if he had been seeing Brenner all along and was trying to escape him. This would mean that his mother, Virginia Creel, had been taking him to Brenner for a while now, and even possibly she herself was involved in some of Brenner's early tests for MK Ultra for who knows how long. Maybe they go back 12 years to before Henry was born, because Henry's mother had him when she was about 24 years old, and at the time, Brenner was working with college-aged women, including Terry Ives, for his early experiments with MK Ultra. It kind of fits into place perfectly. I mean, there's a pretty good theory I whipped up if you want to go watch the video, proving that not only did Terry Ives have powers similar to Eleven's, but also Virginia Creel most likely had powers as well. If you notice, when Henry goes crazy and starts killing everyone, he kills his mother first as if he knew she had powers and she would be his biggest threat in stopping him. But she was so caught off guard that she wasn't able to react quick enough and she was killed off. There's so much more to this theory and it all just gets crazier the more you go in. Definitely go watch that video, but I would really like to see the origin of Henry's powers explained, or at least explored a little bit more, and I'm really curious if this is the outlet they're going to use to give us a look at that before we get to season 5, because with all of the branding so far, it seems like they're really hinting at a much bigger look at young Henry Creel and his turn to darkness into Vecna. In the promo for this play, they released a video which showed a coming soon text where 001 is highlighted for a second, teasing possibly Henry's being turned over to Brenner after the murders. I would love to see more of Brenner and young Henry Creel. Personally, I'd love to see an entire show following Brenner's early MK Ultra endeavors. But we might get to see a little bit of that to end the playoff. On the website promoting this play, you can also sign up for priority access to tickets, basically their email list, just so you're notified when tickets and show dates go live. If you sign up, you get an email with a cool gif of the Creel house with the light in the attic flashing. If you remember, this is where Henry did all of his weird playtime activities in season 4 with the spiders and the clock and his access point to the Upside Down. Also, the art for this play with Henry in the window and Vecna as his shadow looks so cool. cool. I need this as a wallpaper. If you want, I'm going to try to whip up some wallpapers and put them over on my Twitter. It's Michael J. Go over there and I should have them pinned now if you want some new wallpapers. It's been a while since we got more Stranger Things. This one specifically looks so cool though. I'm so excited for this. It gives me vibes of the Phantom Menace poster of young Annie on Tatooine with Vader as a shadow behind him, foreshadowing his eventual descent to the villain. Now, in addition to this live stage play show, the Duffer Brothers are still in fact planning on making a live action spin-off show that will come to Netflix. I'm not really sure how they're planning on making the live stage play available to everyone yet, because I feel like everyone will need to watch it to kind of catch up on things before season 5, but they will be doing the other spin-off still. This is teased to be literally completely different from the original show that we love, but still set in the Stranger Things universe. And while I am still excited for this, I kind of wonder if that means a completely new cast of characters and locations, because as much as I am excited for this new show and whatever direction they choose to take it, we've also spent so many years now theorizing and speculating about all the different ideas for spin-off shows they could do with the current set of characters and locations. Because I know I would love to see a Nancy and Steve team up Nancy Drew mystery type of show. I'd love to see a young Detective Hopper and New York cop show. I'd love to see a show about Brenner's backstory, MK Ultra, filling in the gaps and following his studies over the years as he gets more and more into MK Ultra. I'm sure the new characters and story will be amazing. I just can't help but feel like there's still so many unexplored aspects of the current storyline and so many questions we need answers to. Now, interesting enough, there's a couple casting calls going around for the play, specifically to cast 14-year-olds George Smith and Betty Olsen. George is described as a moody and pale outcast, while Betty is the daughter of a preacher and a goody two-shoes who can't believe she's falling for the school outcast. Most likely Henry Creel. The breakdown for Betty specifically calls for colored actors with the ability to sing, which is insightful and a little exciting. Are we going to get some Stranger Things original songs? That's kind of what it sounds like. Right now, they are saying the show will start later in 2023. Honestly, I think it'd be perfect if the first show was on November 6th, Stranger Things Day, or the day that Will went missing. But unfortunately, November 6th this year falls on a Monday, which is typically not a theater day. In fact, it's one of the only days of the week there will most likely not be a show. Most productions run from Tuesday to Sunday, leaving Monday as one of the days there will sadly not likely be a show. I mean, it's not impossible, but they'd have to go so far out of their way to make it happen just for that one Monday. Also, if this is only taking place in London, I wonder if Hopper and Joyce are going to have British accents. I feel like that would be a tad weird, right? I mean, kind of funny, but a little weird, just a slight detach from the original characters we know. I guess I could always do American accents, but still, it'd be pretty funny to see them with British accents. So what do you guys think of all this? Let me know in the comments, because I genuinely want to hear what you guys think. This is such a different direction for Stranger Things, and as of now, it seems like such a limited amount of people are going to get to see this. Are you excited for young Jopper? What do you think the key to the end will be? Actual Horcruxes? Are you going to run up that hill to London to watch the play in person, or are you just going to cross your fingers and hope they put it on Netflix eventually? Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next video. I will see you soon in the next one. Peace.